As a horseman, I think he's phenomenal in that he can adapt to lots of different horses very easily.
This guy could be falling, and as long as Trevor's on the back of a horse, that's okay with him.
I think he's one of the best. I think he's in that elite group.
Earn what you get, put in the work, do the time, and then the good things will come. If I were to describe who I was, I'm not totally sure how I would do it. I guess I would describe myself as a student. I'm always trying to learn, I'm always trying to pick up some new stuff, and I'm always trying to get better. The people that have shaped my journey into the reining, there's been so many of them, but the key figures other than, my dad and my uncle, when I was 20 years old, I moved from Ohio to Oklahoma and actually worked for Todd Crawford for quite a while, and so he's been a huge mentor of mine. He still is. I actually categorize him as family. He's not just a mentor. I think he's done a lot of shaping me into the horseman I am as well. He had very similar thoughts on horsemanship, business, family, the whole 9 yards that my own family did. So that was a really good, really easy transition for me. Since working for Todd Crawford, Mike Flarida has come into my life and helped me a lot and been a huge mentor, again, on all levels, not just a reining horse, but horsemanship, business, life, the whole thing.
As a horseman, I think he's phenomenal in that he can adapt to lots of different horses very easily. He can be showing 3 different horses in the finals of an event, get on each one and get the max from each one of those horses that are quite a bit different. We can turn this one on and then shut it off and get back on the next one and have a whole different set of circumstances to challenges. He hated cows and about the only good he was in the turnback pen was to fall asleep, because he would sit on his horse early in the morning and go right dead to sleep. So he wasn't much good at all. So we knew that he was just a reiner.
Basically, I've known Trevor's whole family. So I've known him ever since he was a toddler. Knew his dad, his uncle, his grandmother, his mother. I knew the whole family. I came out here about 5 years ago. Obviously, Trevor's working here at Silver Spurs. So we've got to be good friends. We've also got to talk back and forth about training horses, discussing training techniques, and just in general, just being horse trainers, both of us. And it's been a good relationship, very hard worker, very sincere, very professional, very sincere about getting horses trained, good steward of the animal, takes care of his horses, very good with his people, tries to be honest, tries to do the right thing, tries to get better every day. I'm sure he wakes up every morning and with the attitude that, hey, I want to do better today. I want to be good today. That's the attitude that when he comes to work that I see.
We have 2 little boys. Cavan's 4 1/2 and Callan's 1 1/2. They hang out with us. They're just fun. It's very busy. They kind of go with me a lot, but Cavan's getting to the age he loves his dad and he likes to hang out here at the barn with his dad too, so it's been fun. We cannot do what we do every single day without a very important team behind us. We have an amazing team that works for us. We have obviously a great facility that Silver Spurs provides for us. We have an amazing farrier. I mean, that's the root of it all, the feet, the shoes. I mean, that's a huge part of a reining horse. Keeping your team genuine, keeping it true to what this business is built on and what we stand for, and then having the support to kind of push us forward doing that.
So I have a really great farrier that's part of our team. His name's Mark Milster. He's been our farrier for quite some time now. He's very special to our program. He's got his own very competitive personality, and he has put himself on our team. Like he doesn't just come here on his scheduled days to shoe horses. He comes to our horse shows. He calls me while I'm at the horse show and asks me, how are the horses riding? How are they stopping? Is the ground too fast, you know, do we need to change your shoes? How can we change your shoes? Just 100% like wants us to win. And I think that's great. I think that every team needs, you know, a push from every different angle. We're lucky to have him. He actually he's kind of our neighbor. He lives catty corner to us. So he comes over ever so often for dinner, for holidays. He took me and one of my boys trick-or-treating a couple years ago. So that was really fun. He's actually Uncle Mark to our family. So yeah, he's special to us. He'll go the extra mile for us. And we're very lucky to have him.
This is my perspective. He's a horse trainer, a dad, a husband, friend to a lot of people, friend to horses. He's the kind of guy, the sky could be falling, and as long as Trevor's on the back of a horse, that's okay with him. You know, Trevor, besides being a client, him and Laura are friends. Kevin, you know, they call me Uncle Mark. I've been knowing them before they had kids. But we become good friends, and I'm not just, you know, he's not just a trainer, he's a friend. They're all, you know, Laura's a friend. You know, and I come by and I call him and check on him at the shows. You know, it's important to me, you know, for me, it's team. Trevor's a friend to the horse. He's not mean. He doesn't do aggressive things. He works on their mind, you know, and he can get things done with some horses that a lot of people can't. I think a lot of that come from his dad, you know, and Todd Crawford.
Well, I think he has adapted his style, you know, where he had some of my style, he had some of Thiago Bochet style, you know, and he was trying to mix it all together and blend it, and now numerous other influences, his dad and his uncle, you know, are a huge influence in him still. So he had all that, you know, to now put together Trevor Dare style, which, you know, like running and stopping is like no other.
2 years ago, I lost my dad. He had a heart attack, and it was rough. I didn't let people see from me that it was rough, because that's not really how he raised me. It was somewhat, what's the next task at hand? Like, okay, we have a situation, how are we going to handle it? It still is devastating to me. I still don't talk about it very much. Not even with my wife. She tries to pry sometimes, because I'm sure it's good to talk about things and grieve. But, you know, 7 o'clock the next morning, I was here and I was on a horse out on the track. Maybe people think that's wrong, but for me, that was the best way to deal with it. Sorry. Whew. But yeah, his thing was, he knew I had a lot of good horses. He knew I had horses that he never had. And so he would have probably, if he was sitting there, told me, "What are you so busy acting sad about? You got a lot of good horses to go ride and get ready for the next show." And his next comment probably would have been, "Those judges sitting in the chairs, they don't care if you're sad or not." I know he had emotions too that he kind of locked away, but it was always, "Hey, come on, let's keep moving forward. Let's keep getting better. Let's keep finding solutions for our problems." And so I guess when he did pass away and people kept coming out from all over the place telling me how, you know, they had met him, run into him, how he had helped them, and this, that, the next thing. It was awesome, of course. But yeah, it's hard. I always tell everybody I grew up a mama's boy, but my dad was my best friend.
Can you tell me what you love most about your dad?
He's my best friend.
All right, do you have anything you want to tell me about Mum or Dad?
Well, I did tell you about my store on muscles.
What I love most about reining is maybe the ability to take an equine athlete and teach it how to do what we need them to do. The running and sliding, the spinning around, the taking their maneuvers from top speed and having their adrenaline cranked all the way up to having them be cool, calm, and under control. And just having that, you know, that connection with the horse. And I think, you know, for me it would have to be similar, and it's probably why I respect the cutting horses and the cow horses so much, is because if you sit in the stands and you watch what those horses are capable of doing and their precision and their accuracy while they're doing things so fast and so hard and really looking at them like professional athletes, for me, that's awesome. I don't know where else you can find, that kind of an example, but for me, it's incredible. The American was something that I always thought was really cool, and I really wanted to be a part of, but I didn't make it my goal. In the years past, maybe I didn't have the high number of quality horses to go and be able to hit all the horse shows and be competitive. So I didn't have it on my radar. And then last year, I knew I had a lot of really nice young horses, 3-year-olds, maybe, to go and win paychecks on, but still the American wasn't in my mind. I went to a couple of the spring shows, and to be honest, I don't really keep track of the winnings because, again, I'm doing what I love. I'm training the horses the best I can and going to try to compete at the highest level that I can, and getting my name called as my reward. Well, Cade McCutcheon, he's become one of my really close friends, and he came to me after the NRBC and he was like, "Hey, you won like such and such amount of money at the NRBC last week." I said, "No, I didn't." And he goes, "Yeah, you did." And so I got to thinking about it. I was like, huh, that was a lot for that one event. And then we go to the NRHA Derby and I ended up second, and I come home and the American Performance Horseman released what the standings were at the time, and I don't remember if I was second or third or fourth or what I was. When that came out, and that, now we're 6 months into the year, I thought, son of a gun, I'm kind of right there. I got these young horses that are waiting to start showing. I thought maybe I need to go ahead and jump in head first and give this a try. And so I talked with my wife Laura about it, and we kind of decided, let's try, full throttle, let's go. And so we hit as many of the horse shows as we could, and it was constant, but I had a really, really good team around me, from my assistants to our farrier, the veterinarian, customers, everybody was on board. We were able to stay successful through the year, and we made it. And it's a huge relief when you put that much effort into it, because it's somewhat turns into a little bit of a road race. I think it's pretty special because I've experienced what you got to go through to get qualified to be there. It's going to be a life experience. I love all things horses, and so when it comes to, and I love the cutting and I love the cow horse. A little kid, I wanted to be a cowboy when I grew up. And reining maybe isn't the most cowboy of the 3 disciplines, but I still want to be a cowboy. To be around top 8 riders from the previous year for each of those disciplines and just get to mingle with them and talk to them about horses, and some of those guys, for me, they're like movie stars, kind of rock stars. And then on occasion they ask me a question about horse training. I'm like, whoa, like, kind of a big deal you're asking me a question, but it's just awesome to get to mingle with them and talk to them about horses and see their viewpoint of it and everything. Earlier you asked me what makes us kind of unique, or me unique. Probably my team that I've got around me.
If you could put a quote on a billboard, what would the quote be?
Do the work. I don't care really what area of your life it might be, but just do the work and apply yourself. Again, going back to my parents, my dad, it's kind of earn what you get, put in the work, do the time, and then the good things will come.